KEEMSTAR. Let's get right into the news.
He's a psychopath.
On our first bit of news is juicy gossip. It's been told that member of the Fool's Paradise podcast, Gilbert, is an emo piece of crap.
Nah, I'm not emo,
Mason is a scrub, and that Nick is a god amongst men.
No.
It has been claimed that Mason is a furry. Is this true, Mason?
I'd rather take
got him on
weeaboo
board.
over. I'd honestly rather be called a weeaboo than a furry.
Now
There's
Gilbert,
furries
are
living
these
in-
shocking accusations against you true as well?
Since they're coming from you, you always have to assume they're false, so no, they're not true. Also, speaking of furries, there's furries living across the road from me. Help.
All we care about is news. Personal attacks and harassment is totally news. In all seriousness, though, welcome to the Fool's Paradise podcast. I am Nick, aka the Batman. This is the podcast of problems. Who are you people?
Pretty good. Hey, that's smug. Yeah. No, I am Gilbert, and on a regular basis, I go out at night and body slam horses.
I only body slam horses. I only body slam horses at the beginning of Ramadan.
Actually, I do that all the time, man. I get, Lent. That's what I give up for Lent.
Oh.
Some people give up chocolate. Some people will give up singing Jesus songs. I give up body slamming horses. Every day of the week I do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like an obsession with mine. Some have even compared it to a fetish. I would not agree to that. But hey.
It's more of an obsession.
I do it a lot.
It's more of an obsession.
Yes. Yes, exactly. It's a twisted...
Captain Canada's in the house.
Who do you guys think is the most cringy member of this podcast?
Oh man,
I think I've got a pretty good chance in this. I think I've got a pretty good vote.
I think it's either a tie between you or me, because I mistake my words a lot and make it sound a lot worse than it actually does.
I'm pretty cringy because I make bad jokes.
You know what?
He's
not a formal member of the podcast. He's not a formal member of the podcast, but I'll tell you, as far as people who have been on the podcast in the past, how can we not include Ronaldo? How could it not be Ronaldo?
It's either Ronaldo or Ethan.
Ethan.
Oh, what dang, you're taking us back to our third episode.
What up,
That was so cringy. I wasn't even in the party. What up, cuh?
Look, man.
That was cancerous.
Get to the point.
We got some guests.
Everybody had to leave in the middle of the podcast, too.
Oh, yeah. Everybody just up and left. Like, I remember I left like 30 minutes in.
Yeah, and then Ethan left, like, as soon as you left, and then Randy left.
Randy wasn't that bad, though.
Yeah.
You could have him on as a guest some other time.
Although he didn't seem to be that interested in the topic.
True. Even though he was the one that recommended it.
Yeah. We were so serious. We talk so serious about tropes.
This just in, beef between the members of the Fool's Paradise podcast and Randy, one of their guests on the third episode of the Trove podcast. Apparently, despite choosing the topic, being the guest, Randy showed little interest, leaving the Fool's Paradise podcast members quite disheveled.
Should we call ourselves the podcasteers?
No.
But that's too cringy.
Alright, good. Exactly. That's the name of the game.
Do you want to end up on a Leafy is Here video?
Oh yeah, true.
Or like a pyrocynical video.
Yeah, nah, I don't want to end. I mean, that'd
Hey.
Do you want to end up in a trench in Guadalajara?
That's already happened. That's already happened, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to end up living in a van down by the river? Because I can make that happen, and it's a much more pleasurable lifestyle than you would imagine.
A semester abroad always leads places. a semester abroad always leads places you don't expect.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say this. I will never look at them. I will never look at Shrek costumes the same way.
Ever since you watched
No one will after the Shrekking. No one will after the Shrekkening of 08.
The Shrekkening of 08? Yes.
Is that like the Shrek version of Sonic 06?
Yes.
The Shrekkening of 08.
Donkey.
No, it's got a lag a lot more. Okay. Just lag.
Okay.
The movie itself is lagging. It's not even like a video game. It's just a regular Shrek movie.
Was
Shrek
streaming?
released in 2008, or was that 2007?
Falling in my skin.
See, Gilbert, you are an emo piece of crap.
Nah, dude.
Oh,
I listen to good music.
Still not as bad as being furry, as a furry. So.
Hey, I ain't no furry.
I listen to good music, so I'm not emo. Also, my wrists are clean.
What are you talking about? Linkin Park, Five Finger Death Punch, those are the best bands.
Okay,
I love 21 Pilots.
I would not say Green Day's emo because...
Yes, it is.
They had... No, because they had music that was really good in, like, 1999. And I know that doesn't make any sense, but, like, that's just, like, they don't have emo music. Like, I will admit
they're not really emo. I just am,
You just like making fun of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much, even though I've listened to my fair bit of Green Day over the years, yeah.
No, I think the most emo song that I have on my phone is probably the Evanescence "Wake Me Up," and I didn't even download it. My mom did.
How can you
see in my eyes like open doors?
Oh, we're so
where I become so numb.
No, Victor, up. Victor freaking drove off with my thing.
Explain to the people who Victor is.
He's a scrub.
Yeah, we're playing GTA with him.
Yeah, he's not even on the podcast right now.
What do we have against emos? Emos are a piece of craps.
Did someone, like, comment that?
Yes.
Nick, where are you?
I'm high up in the sky, butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look in a book, a reading rainbow.
That's some quality music right there.
It is. I get down on that music. Yep, boy.
You know, I don't get down on that music, but I get down on some of those funky jams. You know.
Funky jams.
You know, the soundtrack of Shrek the Musical, Sonic 06 theme.
Scenic theme, especially.
Maximum Ogre Drive. That's a pretty good soundtrack.
That's a nice one. I like that. I really like that soundtrack. It's a good one.
Hey, yes.
I have quite the attraction just thinking about it.
Jesus Christ, no.
Yes. Gotta submit to Shrek.
Submit to Shrek. Never submit to Drek.
I think we got off topic a lot now. We should probably get back.
Let's
you know, my character in GTA has a fedora.
Filthy neckbeard.
Oh yeah, I yelled, KEEMSTAR yelled, let's get right into the news, and then we proceeded to completely ignore the news. And let's get right into the news.
Alright, so what we got on the news?
Well, Mason, first bit of news, why don't you start us off?
No Man's Sky has been delayed until August 9th, and due to that, the producer of the game, Sean Murray, has been receiving death threats.
Hey. That's pretty bad. So what do you guys think about the delay itself?
I mean, I'm a little mad because we were in like the final. I was a little mad because we were in the final stretch, but I'm also not too mad.
The game better.
Yeah, it'll make the game better. But we were in like the final stretch.
The final stretch.
The final stretch.
Yeah, I agree. I think delays are just irritating in general, just because obviously you kind of expect it to be released on this thing. You're kind of promised for it to be out by then, and then you to see it pushed back. It's obviously always kind of upsetting. But I think anything that makes the game better and that makes it less rushed, allows them to fine-tune things, is good.
I will be a little happy though, because then I'll be able to get it on PC and then have instead of PS4, because I'll probably have my PC by then.
What was that you say, Sonny?
It'll come out later, so that'll give me more time to get my PC, so I can play it on PC instead of PS4.
It's true. Mason's making the switch, the leap.
I'm ascending.
To
no, you're ascending to a bigger faggot. You guys haven't seen that? Okay, no.
He's at Mason tier right now, but eventually might end up like Gilbert tier.
No, I actually do not own a PC currently because it's being. Our PC actually is so old that it was running Windows Vista 5. So we are in the process of getting a new computer.
It's Windows Vista,
Although
not
I gotta
Vista.
say, at least Gilbert can say that he has never worn a fanny pack and/or had the mullet as a hairstyle.
I haven't either.
I've done both. I've worn fanny packs in the past, and when I was about 2, I had a mullet. So
hasn't Gilbert worn a fanny pack?
I guess I'm not one to judge.
I've not. I've worn a satchel, but not a fanny pack.
I feel like that would be a really good image to see.
Well.
It's funny because voice cracks.
It's funny because I voice crack a lot.
What a squeaker!
I don't squeak. It's just voice cracks.
Yes, you do.
I'd say out of all of us, the most squeaker person would probably have to be Mason.
Hey, don't judge me.
Yeah, Mason's like 5 years old though. So.
I ain't 12 no more.
Yeah. I'm 11 and I can swim, so as far as I'm concerned, you're just stupid.
All right, so
have you seen that video where it's like that 11-year-old kid and she's trying to be sassy or something, and she's trying to roast this person, and like literally her defense is that she can swim.
Send us a link after this.
I don't have the link.
We'll find one.
I'll try.
You know, I was really sad.
Should we get to the actual news?
Yes. Well, I already gave some.
Also, the death threats, I think it is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's just a game.
It's just a game, bro.
It's not like it's so bad that it's gonna ruin the economy or something. I mean, heck, it's an indie game.
Already did that.
It's an indie game. What do you expect?
Now, if No Man's Sky was canceled, I could understand, but
yeah, or if it was like a AAA game, but it's an indie game made by like a 5-person team, and it's like an indie game. It's like AAA game quality made by a 5-person team. So what do you really expect?
Exactly. Not only that, but considering how expansive the game is going to be,
like 15 quintillion planets.
Exactly. Considering all the different environments you're going to see. I want that to be as great as possible. I want that to be as atmospheric and as expansive as possible.
And it looks
I don't
so
want
colorful.
any hindrances that, and seeing as how much work that's going to take, I'm completely with them on that. I support them delaying the game as long as it helps the game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that all we got to talk about that topic, though, or you guys got any final thoughts?
That topic? I thought we were going on to other news.
We can.
Yeah, I just asked if you guys had any.
Battlefield 1!
Who doesn't know about Battlefield 1?
Call of Duty?
No,
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare?
Call of Duty Infinite.
I love Call of Duty. It's my favorite game.
Call of Duty Infinite dislikes. Oh.
Nice meme.
Call of Duty community is cancer. Would you rather have to spend? Let me ask you this: would you rather have to spend 3 hours trapped in a room with the Steven Universe fandom, or the Call of Duty community?
Call of Duty community, as in squeakers, or as in?
As in both squeakers and annoying frat guys.
Oh, I'd do Call of Duty because I can't stand Steven Universe.
Steven Universe is just so cancerous.
I mean, I'll play Call of Duty every now and then, but I always play it with like in a party, even if there's nobody else in the party, just so I don't have to listen to the people.
Yeah, I actually, the only time I really play Call of Duty is with friends that I know, and we usually don't even play the game. We just like do stupid stuff.
I feel like they kind of ruined it. Trying to rush it out every year.
FPS as a whole genre has just become so oversaturated.
Yeah.
But hey, just the concept. Anytime you get a unique one, like that's one of the reasons why I think Overwatch is so appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because
Destiny.
It's a unique shooter. Overwatch, Destiny, Team Fortress 2. I think these are the reason why a lot of people
Counter-Strike.
A lot of people are going for them is because they offer something new, something fresh. People really are getting kind of tired of the average FPS genre, and with good reason, because everyone's trying to exploit it. And even the games that were initially massive success, even games that did start out as critical successes and were beloved, like Call of Duty, have reverted to some not so enjoyable tactics. You know, they've kind of gone south, gone downhill. You know,
they've gone the way of EA with microtransactions out the butt.
I can't stand third-person games, though.
I will say, I am very excited for Battlefield 1.
I'm probably gonna get Battlefield 1. I hope. Like, even if it just comes out on PS4, it's one of the reasons I'm keeping my PS4 is for like console exclusive games.
Oh, you guys are such idiots. I'm gonna play Battlefield.
Call of Duty's the real game.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to you guys. You're all like, I'm gonna play Battlefield. I'm gonna play Battlefield. What about Call of Duty? God.
Call of Duty sucks, Ronaldo.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I was totally with you until it was the cool thing to hate Call of Duty. Now I love it. Call of Duty is like the best.
So, Ronaldo, do you still live in a basement?
Look, who are you to judge me? I'm happy with my life.
Well, your parents aren't, because they're still living in their basement.
You don't know what my mom thinks.
She told me yesterday she wishes you would kill yourself.
Why were you hanging out with my mom?
Because she's a nice lady.
You're a creep, dude.
You're even creepier because you are a neckbeard who lives in your mother's basement.
Yeah, well...
Can you swim? Huh? Can you swim?
Look,
You know, Gilbert,
I'm very buoyant, okay? I'm a large man.
Gilbert, that really triggers me. I'm gonna post about it on Tumblr.
Exactly. Literally dumb. How dare you insult me and my body pillow?
Just because he's a bigger man doesn't mean you have to call him buoyant.
On Tumblr, you can basically see the period bloodstains. Like,
oh wow,
nice meme.
Nice meme, Gilbert.
Thank you.
Where'd you get that? Reddit?
Or Facebook?
Actually, no. Neither.
Yeah, well, Gilbert, you're stupid and you can't even swim, so I'm like 11. I'm cool.
Yeah, you can't even swim, Gilbert. You gotta be. You can only swim at the age of 11.
I actually can't swim.
Today's generation of music is like so terrible. I'm a fetus inside of the womb.
And I already want to try to
Fetus into
strangle
womb.
myself with the umbilical cord.
Fetus into womb. Alright, so next, Battlefield 1, what do you guys think about the upcoming release of the next first-person shooter of the
Is there a
Battlefield
release
genre?
date?
It looks pretty good, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not
October
big
21st,
on
I believe.
FPSs.
Neither am I, but I'm happy for World War One.
I just want to play because
Yeah,
it
no,
looks
that's
awesome. And I want to ride a horse and kill people.
What's
a
the
sword.
other one?
What's not to like about riding horses? Actually, I'm not a furry, so I'm not gonna say that.
I'm more a fan of body slamming them, but I mean, you know, it's whatever.
It's whatever you're into, dude.
Yeah, unless you're into like doing weird stuff with horses, in which case
So
it's
just
not
eating
okay.
them. But there's nothing really wrong with eating a horse.
That's not what I was talking about, Mason. Well, I mean, it kind of is if you take it one way. Eating horses, that is.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
I mean, you know, like in a non-literal sense, in a figurative sense, figurative language. Again, you are. Oh god. Oh no. Moving on. Transition. Other news. You guys got some?
GTX 1080 released. Sold out within the first
cool
half hour.
graphics.
Sold out first half hour, now being marked up $400 and resold on eBay.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Coleman. This is what Gary Coleman would have wanted. So Overwatch was released.
Nobody cares.
I care about Overwatch. It looks fun.
So, did you know the people, hold on, I'll tell you guys later, but Overwatch is one of the, like, highest grossing games now, apparently.
I mean, they did.
Sold out on
I'm not a huge fan of the way it looks, but I mean, they did great marketing it. Like, the
Oh
trailers,
yeah, those cinematic shorts are genius.
yeah. And weren't there a bit of
I
comics
love
too?
cinematics. Oh yeah, they started like building a world around it.
Yeah.
That's another cool thing. Like the world, like there's an actual world. Most FPS shooters, they don't do a lot to immerse you. They don't try to like build up an atmosphere. But Overwatch has like comics, cinematic shorts, and everything. They're trying to really build up an atmosphere, kind of make a story, make maybe even a franchise out of it.
Like,
I'd like to see that in like future games where maybe they include even like a deep story too. I think with the success of Overwatch, it only makes sense for them to make some sequels. Get on that, Blizzard.
Either that or just have like a lot of add-ons, like free add-ons.
That'd be really cool too.
Because I mean, if they did paid add-ons, they just go the way of EA.
Yeah, Blizzard is the people's champ almost. That would really sully there.
I mean, they do kind of have a few microtransactions in their games already, but nothing like EA levels.
True.
Or Activision levels.
Mr. Steal Your Bike.
Oh, Mr. Steelman. Also, let's talk a little bit about some comic controversy. Actually, now that I think about it. You guys heard about Captain America?
I saw some stuff about it on Reddit, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on.
Basically, at the end of one of the comics, it was at the last panel showed a shocking reveal in which Captain America uttered those two famous words. Hail Hydra. Yeah.
I'm honestly now okay. So I kind of want to know more about this now. Could it be like an alternate universe or?
I don't know. See, the thing is, people just lost. They just went ape. They went some bananas. They went bazoombas. They went bagongas. Bagongas. What are bagongas? I don't know. They just went crazy on Twitter, on Reddit, everywhere. They freaked out. The thing is, though, this is like the beginning. This is like the first issue of the new series. This is beginning the story. Well, obviously, the idea of Cap becoming a Hydra agent isn't like a appealing one necessarily. I don't think anybody honestly expects Cap to actually stay that way.
Wasn't there like?
And that's what makes the story intriguing. The idea of a good guy going bad is just a classic story arc, and obviously, I doubt this is just gonna be this is just gonna be a sudden change with some.
Wasn't there like an animated
like
movie about Cap getting brainwashed to becoming a Hydra agent?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I
thought
saw
that's basically Winter Soldier. That's basically what the Winter Soldier did. He was he became bad. That's like there were even a couple of successful stories in which like Under the Red Hood, Winter Soldier, where classic heroes came back as villains, and those are regarded as really well written stories. I know that the comic is being written by Nick Spencer, and Nick Spencer is one of the he's a really good writer as far as comics go. He's been doing a lot of good stuff, so I don't think that he's a bad writer. Obviously, I think there's more to the story, and I don't think that people should complain so much about it without us really knowing that much. What do you guys think?
That's pretty good.
Honestly, I actually did not know about it until you told me. Like, I saw the Hail Hydra, but I thought it was just from an old comic.
Hey, that's a pretty good.
Although, honestly, why should everybody get all upset over the whole thing when it's honestly the writer's choice on what they want to do?
Well, I mean...
What's this? You just got mugged, Nick.
Shut up.
Do you want to hop in?
Yes. Follow the mugger. Sorry, what did you say, Mason?
Like,
I got wrapped up in the vidges.
Why should everybody get all mad and all over the whole panel if honestly it's the writer's choice on what they want to write?
True, I kind of agree. That's not to say... I think it's cool that people are standing up for their favorite hero and whatnot. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to stand up against bad writing, but this wasn't really a case of bad writing. People are getting... they're going relentless. They're focusing relentlessly on this big reveal, without knowing any of the context without really knowing any of the context as to why this is happening or what's going on.
So is this a 616 comic?
Ready to get sanity.
Yeah, this is main continuity, everything. This is.
Maybe it's not Cap.
Crap. You need to stop him. Like actually make the vehicle stop. But yeah, I mean, it's fine if people have raged over different things over the years, obviously, be it comics, video games, and I think it's fine to call out bad decision-making, bad writing, but whenever it's something like this, where we don't know anything yet, we don't really know this full story, I don't think it's fair to just outright hate it, or loathe it.
I think I got him. Nope.
You have to actually make the vehicle stop for me to pull out and kill him.
On.
Hey, just sideline him. Pin him up against a wall or something.
Hold on, I got this. Get the money.
Take the money and run.
1 second. Go on, take the money and run. Oh god. Oh god. Where is the money?
Come on.
I got the money. Oh god. Anyways, something that we were gonna do a podcast last week, but something that we didn't get to talk about. Oh crap! Something that we didn't get to talk. Two things that we didn't get to talk about actually. We got some new news on the Black Panther movie. Michael B. Jordan, known for starring in good films like Chronicle and Creed, as well as horrendous films, as well as the horrendous film Fan Four Stick, has been cast in Ryan Coogler's Black Panther movie, which Ryan Coogler also directed Creed, which was critically acclaimed, seen as one of the best movies last year, and he also directed Fruitvale Station, which was a really good movie that I saw and I really enjoyed.
So Black Panther is an official movie?
On the casting? Yeah.
Okay.
They even... wait, you haven't seen Civil War, have you?
Nope.
I won't reveal anything for you then. But, yeah, it's been, Black Panther movies has been confirmed for a while. That was part of the big revealing at, like, the El Capitan Theater of Phase 3, remember? This crowd.
Sure, I guess.
And since then, they've also announced
I'm excited
the Wasp and Ant-Man and the Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think it's
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Michael B. Jordan is a really good actor, even in crappy projects like Fan Four Stick. He wasn't, trust me, he was far from the worst part of that movie, so I think it'll be good. The rumor has been that he's going to be playing the villain role, which is interesting. I don't know how. I'm definitely not mad over him being cast in the villain role. Like I said, he's a pretty phenomenal actor, but I think it's an interesting role for him to take on, just because I feel like he's not as maybe imposing as your average villain might be, and he's also pretty young, which is different, but it'll provide an opportunity to make a different and maybe memorable villain too. So
don't pull a Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, don't pull a Jesse Eisenberg.
Who's that?
Guy who played Lex Luthor, Batman v Superman. Grandma's peach tea.
Wait, Nick, did you ever see?
Snyder, genius.
Did you ever see that movie?
I saw parts of a may or may not be pirated version. That wasn't my fault. I was scrounging through the internet. I wasn't intentionally trying to find it. I stumbled across it. I didn't watch it. I did watch the beginning though, where it was like Ben Affleck, and he's like in a forest. He's like at a funeral, and he runs into a forest.
That really confused
I saw that beginning. Although I know what happens in the movie though. I had it spoiled for me a while ago.
Oh.
That's why I didn't see it in theaters for the main part. Well, mainly because it was a bad movie, but also I already knew it
wasn't a bad movie. It was. I mean, look at this. Last Airbender. We'll get
into that. Yeah. I'm not going to debate that. Last Airbender is about as bad as things can get. That's cinematic equivalent of testicular cancer.
Yep.
That's basically if the Last Airbender was a small child, then Avatar the movie, the Avatar movie would be the equivalent of raping that child.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, best director ever.
He's really good at ruining stuff. Like now, he's ruined the entire franchise. Like now, no longer will we see any more Avatar movies.
It was never a good franchise, in my opinion.
Well, because you can't. It's hard to make a movie out of a TV show. It's especially hard whenever you're trying to do the entirety of the TV show itself, and not just like a continuation. It's a little easier when you're trying to like finish a story, like Serenity and Firefly, but
we're trying to go animated to live action.
Yeah, Firefly was awesome.
What exactly is Firefly? Is it like a continuation or is it a movie?
No, Firefly is the show. Serenity is the movie, which is a continuation of the story.
Oh,
I think it's like
the story got canceled.
Yeah, because the show got canceled, and then
all the good shows get canceled.
Because they don't bring in those juicy ratings.
It's a really good sci-fi series by Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon, the guy that did Avengers?
Yeah, the guy who did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers, all that good stuff.
I know my directors, I just don't know my actors.
You know your directors, huh?
Yeah.
Can you name 3 films directed by Engelbert Humperdinck?
Yep.
Neither can I, because he's made up. You racist. No.
The Princess Bride.
Apparently Princess Bride is now on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie.
It is. Princess Bride was about, like, Rob Reiner. Not Reiner, but Rob Reiner.
It was a really good book, too. I read the book.
The book was better than the movie.
No, I liked the movie a bit more.
They're
I haven't
complete.
even read the book.
It wasn't even the same book as the movie. It was a completely different story.
What about Shrek, though? Talk about
Best book ever.
Best book to movie adaptation ever.
I love the
Some
Shrek
people
comic
would say
line.
it's To Kill a Mockingbird. Some people would say it's like Jaws or something. They're idiots. It's Shrek.
Yeah. Either that or Cory in the House has the best continuation of a movie, or best movie continuation.
Yeah. You better watch out, Cory.
Go, Cory.
Final bit of news, though. Obviously,
So Nick, let's start off with the Civil War stuff.
Well, I got one more piece of news. It's a pretty big one that we didn't get to talk about last week. As you guys know, my waifu is getting a movie.
And who's your wife?
Harley Quinn solo film confirmed.
A what?
Harley Quinn solo film confirmed.
Oh, sweet.
My waifu. Would that even count as a waifu though, since it's not anime, or does that work still? I don't know.
I don't.
Get out of here, Ronaldo. Get out of here, Ronaldo. I left you a noose for a reason, you know.
Oh.
There's a reason I gave you a shotgun and 1 bullet on Easter inside of your Easter basket, you know, Ronaldo.
All right, so Nick,
what do you guys think
your
about this
opinions
film?
On, what was your? I'm excited. Seems like pretty good.
Which film are we talking about
I'm
first?
excited. I was still talking about the Harley Quinn film.
Oh.
Here, I'll just sum up my thoughts real quick. I'm excited right now, although that'll change, that is liable to change depending on how she is in Suicide Squad, and how Suicide Squad is as a movie. Okay, you ready for Civil War?
Oh, well, I'm gonna mute my mic and get my headset out. One of you guys text me when you're done talking about Civil War. We'll start off with non-spoiler talk. Okay.
Okay, Mason? Let's say when to mute your mic.
I liked it.
Yeah, so basically, or should we start off with Batman v Superman, since that came out first?
Alright.
Which one do you want to start off with?
Let's go, BVS, so Mason can be in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't Grandma's peach tea funny?
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's a cinematic genius, I tell you.
Cinematic genius.
Mr. President, you mind some electric guitar? Okay, so what are you guys' thoughts on BVS?
With this movie, it's not supposed to be good. We're just setting up a franchise.
Well, I mean, I think that as a movie studio, they should make the best films possible. I mean, Look at what Marvel did. Yes, BVS accomplished setting up a movie universe in one film compared to the number of films it took for Marvel to do so. But look at the reaction that BVS got. It's not. Look, critics. I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna decisively say my opinion one way or the other because it would be unfair for me to do so. But it's pretty unanimous by now that critics despise the movie. It got terrible acclaim. The box office, it did do good, but it was affected by the low scores and everything. I realized that they wanted to set up a universe pretty quickly so they could maybe catch up to Marvel, but at what cost? You know what I mean? At what cost?
A sucky movie.
Yeah.
And less fans.
Honestly, I feel like they shouldn't copy the Marvel thing though, like the whole group superhero movie.
I don't have any problems with them doing a Justice League film or anything, or even necessarily going if they were to follow the Marvel thing and try to set them up one at a time. But the thing is, I mean, they've already set off on a bad start. You know, they've already got a bad taste in our mouths. You know what I'm saying? They've already given us a
Yep, I understand it fine.
pretty bad product.
Yeah.
And it's not. There are some upsides to the film, even as someone who hasn't even seen the whole thing. Like it's a good looking film. It definitely looks epic in scope. I like Zack Snyder's visuals as far as directing go, because he normally offers up something pretty interesting, pretty nice to look at the very least. If nothing else, I mean 300 looks fantastic, all that good stuff. It's not as if it's a bad looking film. That's, like I said, it's not as if that it doesn't have its awesome moments or anything. And from what I've heard, Ben Affleck did great as Batman. He was like the redeeming quality, and I'm super excited to see Ben Affleck's Batman movie, since he is a fantastic director and writer, Oscar-winning writer. But for the most part, it's pretty unanimously hated, which sucks. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I did not like the movie.
I kind of liked it because I'm not really that imposed by quality, more on actual story.
Well, I mean,
I feel like it makes it better if it has good quality.
A good story is good quality. And I think I think people, like, the story was pretty jumbled from what I've heard.
It was.
What with them trying to cram a whole lot of different things in, it just seemed overpacked as far as the thing goes. It didn't seem like it flowed narratively, and from what I've heard, it seems like it feels kind of broken up. It feels almost like certain scenes kind of get cut off at odd times, or they keep running, or they switch to a different segment. Like, it feels disjointed.
And some of the scenes, like at the very beginning, and the whole Batman with guns scene, that was just really trippy for me.
The Batman what scene?
Were you smoking the weeds?
Oh yeah.
Tell me my friend wasn't smoking the weeds, was he?
Nope.
Oh yeah, that scene was trippy.
The entire movie was just pretty trippy and all. Yes.
So what were your guys' thoughts on it, though? As someone, why did you like or dislike it, though, specifically?
I liked it because it was my first DC movie. You
didn't see any of the Batman films?
No. I watched part of Batman Begins.
Trilogy?
No.
Okay. You need to go watch that. Those are good.
Yeah, seriously, though. Those are really good.
Yeah.
Also, quick tangent. What do you guys think is the better trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy or the Captain America trilogy?
I can't make that decision.
Personally, I like since I'm more of a Marvel dude, I like the Captain America trilogy better, but the Batman trilogy is really close.
I think as far as the trilogy aspect goes, as far as if we're thinking about it that way, as that semantic, like, what makes the better trilogy, what makes the better compact overarching story, I think I might give it to Captain America. But at the same time, I feel like the Dark Knight trilogy was maybe more influential, because the Dark Knight is often regarded as not just as one of the best superhero movies, but one of the finest films of all time, with one of the best performances of all time, and Heath Ledger's Joker. But at the same time, and I feel like Batman Begins is a really important film, because in a sense it kind of kicked off DC making movies. Of course, it didn't start off the DC like movie universe today. That's changed a whole lot. Man of Steel kind of did that, but it was kind of its first step into modern superhero films, and also brought Batman back to the big screen, brought him back from what was previously utter, just guttural, absolute, terrible, low of the low,
Batman
hobo
versus
vomit,
Robin.
Hobo vomit, just utter KEEMSTAR. Like instead of
I'm your host.
Instead of crap, I'm just gonna use KEEMSTAR. KEEMSTAR is just as good a synonym for crap as anything else. It was a KEEMSTAR basically of Batman and Robin, and it basically brought him back to grand heights. Sorry, that was a big. I don't know why I asked that question. I saw it on Twitter. Back to Batman v Superman though. What were some aspects that you liked about the film? First off,
I felt like
Batman.
The characters.
Ben Affleck as Batman. That was good.
One at a time, please. You rude people. No. Yeah. What about the characters, Mason?
I liked the way the characters were portrayed, like in the way they were introduced.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of introduced Wonder Woman like Wonder Woman. Like I feel like they tried to make it to where we thought we were supposed to know who it was, and then introduced her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you felt swindled.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little swindled.
At first I was like, is that Catwoman?
I honestly didn't know who it was. I just thought it was some random lady.
Yeah, I thought it was just some random chick, and I was like, oh wait, that might be Catwoman. And then I was like, oh wait, that's what's her face?
Are you guys talking about the scene at the where they dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, that was in the trailers. That was in the trailers.
I don't watch trailers really except for movies that I don't care about or I'm really hyped about.
Hey man. Hey.
I didn't even realize I was going to see not Civil War, but whatever this one was called until like a week before.
Whatever this one's called.
If you have a communication pending from the reef prior to the disruption, please be patient, Guardian. Transmissions to the reef resume shortly. Disruption resolved.
Wrecked.
Should we go on to the topic of Civil War?
Well, I mean, what were the things that you didn't like though?
I didn't like the whole
the dream scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Where for the first one where Batman was dreaming about Man-Bat, and then the second one where
about marijuana,
and then the other one where Batman was like, "Yo, so like, am I gonna be able to, like, what's Superman doing?"
He was probably just on acid.
He was. I mean, it was confirmed by whatever his name is. Whatever this one is.
Snyder. Whatever this one is. It's just you don't even care anymore. Let me ask you this. This is a controversial topic. What was your thoughts on Batman killing?
I mean, not only in the dream sequence, but he was also going to kill Superman.
Well, yeah, but he like straight up killed thugs and stuff throughout the movie.
Yeah, but that was theorized to be Flashpoint universe.
Yeah, but he like straight up murked some fools. He was ready to straight up murk some fools. He did murk some fools.
So is it Flashpoint or is it not? Like,
it was theorized to be Flashpoint. Like I read this big long article about it.
Here's the thing, though. Theories aren't always true.
Yeah, but most of the time they are made true.
People. Batman murked people.
That was just a dream, too.
What do you think about Batman murking people?
That was just a dream.
What do you think about Batman murking people?
I
That
don't
was pretty
care
messed up.
about it.
I do, because that's a massive character misunderstanding. The whole thing is that Batman doesn't want to stoop to the lows of criminals, but he's stooping to the lows of criminals right there. You can't make Batman murk someone. That's not right.
So
That's
you're saying
not right. That's not Batman.
You're saying that
That's
assault and
the
violence
Punisher
is
or
not a
something. That's not Batman.
You're saying assault and violence isn't a crime?
No, what I'm saying is stooping to the low of killing someone. Batman's whole philosophy is that if you kill one killer, there's still the same amount of killers left in the world. You know what I'm saying? He's all about that stuff. He doesn't want people to relive the same tragedy as he does. He just wants to stop that tragedy from ever seeing the day go again. What he's saying, the whole philosophy, that's one of the main philosophies that they didn't even understand. That's basic Batman right there. And I know this is not the first film to violate this, not at all. This is, I mean, like, I think really every movie incarnation has done it. Actually, now that I think, really, this really irks me how no film has ever gotten this right. Why does Batman kill? That's just such a massive part of. It's just such a massive part of his character that he doesn't kill. That's a huge part of his philosophy, a big chunk of understanding him as a character, and yet they constantly screw that up. I don't understand. What do you got? What? I don't like how lightly you're treating this, Mason. Do you even care? Do you even Batman, bro? You even Batman? You even Batman, bro? Do you? Do you even Batman? I don't think you Batman. Yes?
Yes. Nope.
Okay, Civil War. We'll talk non-spoiler. Or wait, do you want to talk spoilers for Batman v Superman?
I guess. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler.
Okay,
Alrighty, so
Superman dies.
So,
with a scrub.
so
Well, did he die or did
should
he
not
not?
have- So okay, so
I mean, the whole
this is
soil
fine.
thing is kind of. I mean, I feel like they should have just left it at him in the ground rather than the whole soil thing.
Yeah.
It's like.
But also
horrible.
apparently
'Cause
there.
I think.
I was in the theater, so I couldn't hear it very well. But apparently there are also heartbeats in the soil scene.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's gonna come back no matter what. But I feel like it would have been more impactful to just left it at him dying. It was a brave. Honestly, I thought it was a brave move of killing him off whenever I first heard that they did take that route. But then just to give us that ending, that with the soil in the same movie that we saw him die in, mind you, I didn't have any. Obviously, I didn't think that this was going to be the end of Superman in the movie universe, especially whenever he's like already been said to be in like the Justice League movie and whatnot. But the fact that they immediately took away what they had just put in, immediately destroyed that tension after the movie. I thought that was a pretty I thought that was pretty dumb of them. I give them props
And
on
also-
being brave as to do that, but I don't agree with
Here's
the
the thought.
decision of leaving that.
I thought it was too early to kill him off. Like, so it's the first movie where they're bringing everyone together. Why did they have Doomsday and everyone else in there when they could have had it like a much better story with so many other characters so much later? And also, I didn't want to
true,
see
yeah.
like. And also, I didn't want to really.
They could have
Also,
pretty
didn't want to
easily.
see like. I didn't want to see, hey, Batman, Superman, they're fighting. Oh, then Doomsday comes along. They have to team up to kill Doomsday. I wanted this like, and then they kill him just with like super easy with the spear. What I wanted to see was like, yo, Doomsday, Superman, they're fighting, and since they're both invincible, they're not invincible. But since they're both extremely hard to kill, I wanted to see them wear each other down to the point to where they're just, like completely and utterly destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't like the whole Martha thing, but I did like how it pointed out that they both had
that
parents named
Martha thing
Martha.
is just really
But
stupid.
it was honestly pretty
Martha.
interesting to know that they both had like mothers named Martha.
Well, yeah, I mean that's an interesting tidbit. Martha Lane and all. That's an interesting factoid, but that's not a good reason for them to resolve their conflicts. These dudes are completely all willing to kill each other. I mean, they're ready to murk each other. They're fighting. They're having the fight of their lives. They have these massive at this point, they have these massive philosophical differences. They believe two very different things. They're out for blood. They hate each other. It's the end, you know. And then to see it all end with such a I guess mundane reason, such common, trivial reason as their parents, as their moms both being named Martha. It was really just seemed dumb and idiotic. I realize some people have tried to make a big deal out of this and talk about how, like, but really just think about it. It just doesn't seem like a reason as to why they would resolve a conflict as blown out, as serious, as rage-filled as it was. That whole Martha thing seems really idiotic to me. Martha. Why did you say that name? And then they're just best friends all of a sudden? I mean, that's... Yeah.
I've neglected my work.
Just weak reasoning, you know, weak. And also, you know, they could have... what was the need to include Doomsday in there in the first place, you know?
It's a way to tie in.
They could have pretty easily pulled off a story with just Lex Luthor as the main antagonist. Him being the puppet master pulling the strings would have been, I think, content enough. But
I didn't really know who Doomsday was, so I was a little confused.
You don't know who Doomsday was?
Not directly. I mean, I know who he is, kind of, but...
Oh, okay.
I didn't see Man of Steel, so I was in the dark.
Man of Steel, though. What's that?
What was that?
You're bad.
Come on.
You're bad.
Yeah, no, Daddy. Call me bad again. No.
Oh God! Ew. Okay. Anyway, so should we go move on to, like, you know, the Batman or the Civil Wars?
Yeah, I think Civil War was a really good film.
I did as well.
I do too. I think it's a great film.
But have you seen it, Mason?
No. So are you saying just because I haven't seen it, I can't say it's a great film?
No,
Yeah,
I think you can, but you have to have reasoning behind it.
Oh, because it's a Marvel movie.
That's pretty faulty reasoning.
Even though it's true, that's pretty faulty reasoning.
I gotta say, it was a really interesting film. Although, this is one of the main complaints that I hear from a lot of DC fanboys is the whole, you know, DC's better because they take things so seriously, whereas Marvel films are constantly making jokes and stuff. And here's my problem. I mean, it's a superhero movie. The superhero genre is inherently kind of a fun, it's a fun medium, generally speaking. Yes, there are darker stories, there are more serious stories, and they're great. Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of the best comics out there are the more serious ones, obviously. The ones with clear focuses, Watchmen, Sandman, Preacher, you know, I'm not debating that. But they seem to make it seem like a crime just because the movies are fun, just because they're funny, you know. But they're good movies. They have every right to be. Obviously, it's dealing with a fun topic, superheroes, classic stuff. So I don't see any problem with making it fun. That said, while I thought most of the jokes in Civil War were fine, I do think that I do personally. While I am very quick to disagree with DC fanboys on the overarching thing that Marvel movies make too many jokes or they're too fun, as if a fun movie is a crime or something. I will say that I found it in the airport scene, which is a masterpiece of a scene, very great, very entertaining scene. I do think that there were too many jokes in there.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the only major fight. It was the only major fight, really, that we saw, team versus team. You know, we got a few separate disheveled fights, you know, like we got to see I mean, these aren't really spoilers, by the way, Mason. These are just kind of events. They're mild at best. But, we kind of got to see, like, and, they're in the trailers, too. But, like, we got to see Bucky and Cap kind of versus the Black Panther for a bit at the beginning. And later on, of course, we see Bucky and Cap versus Iron Man. But the airport scene is kind of the only meeting where we see full team versus
real
full
scene.
team, It's the only scene where we get to see all of the players in one massive battle fighting. And it is an epic scene. They really did a good job with it. It's like 15 minutes long of just pure amazingness. But that said, when you for a movie that is where I felt like it did need some of the jokes. I did feel like some of the jokes took the drama or the tension away from the scene, which they really could have easily. Especially with Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man character in this movie. I thought that it was played really well, especially the introduction. But at the same time, I felt like while it was very good in capturing the fun, jokey nature of Spider-Man, I felt like they exploited that side a little bit too much, especially in that scene. Because as epic as the scene it did kind of interrupt the flow. It did kind of interrupt the tension, the epicness of it, whenever he would in certain comedic scenes, and then especially there was a lot of intense fighting going on. Obviously,
it was very intense.
Pretty heated at it was pretty heated at times. It wasn't easy. They weren't going easy on each other necessarily. Obviously, they weren't going full out trying to necessarily kill them. But there were multiple parts where, you could tell there was where there was intensity,
Yeah.
Or where they were really trying to, they weren't just playing around, they were trying to hurt each other. But the jokes kind of did interrupt that at times. What do you got? Gilbert, what's your thought on that?
I could understand some of the jokes, and like you said with Spider-Man, I realized they tried to bring out somewhat like the youth in him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They tried to make him fun-loving teenager. But
that's the Spider-Man that we all love and that we all know and love. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, of course.
Yeah, but then some of the jokes just were like, hey, look, this should be serious right now. They're in a battle. They shouldn't be cracking jokes off at each other. Now I understand some, but not every 5 seconds have a joke.
Ha 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 ha! Nice comedy.
And I feel like at first, it's fun. I think it's all fun to make a couple of jokes during a fight scene because it obviously whenever you've got something that intense going on, it's good to just kind of release some of the tension. Make it not. It doesn't necessarily ruin the drama, but it kind of deflates some of it because you don't want. In a scene like that, where it's full of a lot of fighting and it's like 15 minutes long, you kind of risk going the route of the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, and I think that's a point that some people miss. Like if you go full on straight fighting, just serious the whole mile, kind of like that, and you just keep carrying on without adding a whole lot. Be it it can get kind of boring. It can more or less, it can make the fighting seem less interesting, like in the prequels and Revenge of the Sith, is specifically where it's like Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting for like a good couple while. It's fun, but just that, focusing on that purely can get a little heavy-handed. But the way handled it, I did. As great a beautiful scene was. Two jokes and comical at part, at least. Alright, so going to
Spoiler part of Civil War.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so spoilers ahead. So, personally, I thought that Civil War took its serious side well, and it's light side wealth. Like, for example, I like when Scarlet Witch had to lift the suicide bomber up and, like, slam him against a building and it killed a bunch of people. Like, you were like, dang.
It was like, yeah, I think it was really, they did a really good job in that specific scene, I think. I haven't seen a lot of praise for that specific scene as much as it deserves, I think. Because it kind of starts off as your Marvel movie, the one that you're used to, where it's like a fun adventure. You see like Cap and Falcon and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
And you get your villain Crossbones, who's fun. But then you can tell almost immediately, like once things start with the suicide vest, things take a massive shift, and it really does work. And I'm showing that things change, not just change them, but they change rapidly and viciously. In that explosion, I really like that. I really like that scene. What did you think about that scene in general?
Personally, I thought that scene was like. At first, I was like, oh, hey, look, like, I was thinking the same thing as you. This is an opening of a Marvel movie, it's typical Marvel. And then they pulled the suicide vest out, I'm like, okay, they're getting serious here, this isn't no playtime, they're getting to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, it kind of set out that message that, playtime's over, we're all about fun superheroes as much as you are. But it kind of puts you in that mood,
But
and
we can make
it felt
a movie.
like there were consequences. Mm-hmm. Unlike certain other films that didn't have any consequence to all the destruction and damage, and only addressed it in later films after being so lambasted.
Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm. You really got to feel the consequence with everything. And it felt set up. It felt planned and real,
Yeah, and also, so when I went to the theater, I was thinking, man, I really like Tony Stark. I'm not looking forward to see him being, messed up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I thought personally in this movie they did a great job of portraying him like as someone who has been hurt, and I could see his point of view on this. Like, during some points, I was like, during some of the movie, I was like, I'm gonna go with Cap on this one, and during other parts of the movie, I was like, I'm gonna have to go with Tony on this one.
Yeah, one of my problems with the actual story of Civil War, the comic book, which I do love, one of my biggest issues with it is that it really does kind of make a villain out of Tony Stark. Within it, he does a number. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cap has his moments. He gets irrational at points, but I think for the most part, they really did make Iron Man seem like a villain more than anything. It was, they're promoting it as in whose side are you on? This is going to be really divisive, but really, once you saw the things that Tony Stark was doing, it kind of made his side seem kind of really terrible, and I wish that it would have been more balanced, but in the film, thankfully, I feel like they did do a better job at balancing out both of them, making them both seem right, making them both seem justified in a sense.
Yeah, and like with the scene with the lady in the hallway, I was like, oh man, this is gonna change the story a lot with the Sokovia Accords.
Same. And that was a really impactful scene, really. Kind of almost.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
and
almost.
Staying on the topic of Tony Stark, I thought it was great how they made him seem like, I wouldn't say he's losing his mind, but it made him seem a little more insane as the movie went on.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of get to see him change over the film, which is cool. And whenever he does, I wouldn't say that he lost his mind, but whenever he does lose his temper, it's because of a genuine reason, and you see why. The justification, it's not necessarily a justified action, but it is one where you see the motivation.
Oh yeah. And then, for example, at the end I know I'm skipping around. But at the end of the movie where he's like, I don't care, he killed my mom. That was like, oh dang.
I feel like at if the airplane scene was more tonally like the scene at the end with Bucky, Cap, and Iron Man, that would have improved it, because that end fight between just the three of them, perfecto. I
was
think.
Almost. Yeah.
I really love that part, because that's when things really started to seem serious. Like I said, as much as I love the airplane scene, and I would say that the airport scene is more entertaining, is the better part. It's 15 minutes of good action. I feel like that ending more so captured what the tone of the movie should have been, where, and it was very emotional. You really see Cap and Iron Man, their friendship is breaking apart, obviously we saw it in the trailers with the whole "so was I," he's my friend, so was I. That was very impactful. Iron Man just wailing on Tony at the end, and whenever Tony just beat up, he's like, you can tell his opinions on Cap has changed. He's like, that shield's my father's, that doesn't belong to you. Like, it's filled with rage, and Cap just like tosses the shield on the ground. That was such a great moment,
Oh yeah.
You really, it felt genuine, it felt emotional, it felt impactful. Which leads into another problem of mine. Right after that scene, in the ending, I felt like that was too much of a tonal shift. Wherever it goes from, like, where it's like Cap just completely and utterly beating up Iron Man, just really hammering down at him. Bucky's laying there with, like, a removed arm, like a blasted off arm, and they just hate each other, to going to Tony Stark and Rhodey. And I think it was, I'm kind of mixed on this from that, because on the one hand you see the breaking up of a friendship, right? You see complete and utter destruction between the people. You see them shatter, Cap and Iron Man. But then you go there to the friendship of Rhodey and Tony, and I think that was cool, but at the same time, it also felt like it was a quick shift, too quick of a change. And maybe I just need to go back and rewatch Civil War, because I haven't seen it since it came out opening weekend. But to go from that big scene to then go to, like, with the whole Tony Stank thing, it seemed a bit jarring of a change of pace.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that point. But I did like how when they were with the friendship, it was a little bit melancholy, because
I think it was smart of them to go to the Rhodey-Tony friendship, because it showed a contrast between the two situations. But at the same time, because it was such a big contrast, and because at the end of the day, Iron Man was happy, He goes from just complete and utter, shattered, it just goes from disjointed to happiness almost. To where you see him, laughing about the whole thing with Rhodey and him. And, it is sad to an extent with Rhodey being kind of paralyzed, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, I don't know how I feel.
That'll be interesting.
I will say I didn't like a bunch of hold on. Yeah. So when the movie came out and I hadn't seen it yet, a bunch of people were like all lovey-dovey about how Cap and whatever Winter Soldier, Bucky were so, like, cute, and I was like, and when I look at the movie, it's like, where do you get this from? Like, I really don't like some of the fan base.
Like the Tumblr people?
Yeah.
The shippers?
Yeah.
That won't be easy.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then another thing, in the movie, I liked it, but I really don't want to see, them get like divided and stuff, because I really do like. It just seems odd.
I'll have to
sorry.
disagree on you on that.
Sorry.
Because even though it is a crushing division between them, especially seeing them as like friends in previous films and stuff, I felt like they should have gone with that division more too. Because at the end, you know, where Tony receives Cap's letter and stuff, and he's like, "I'll still be there for you." That to me was kind of like that to me kind of splintered the film's previous scene. Like that also kind of splintered my effect, because I don't know, it just made it seem like what happened earlier didn't really matter as much. And I feel like the division is so powerful, but the division between the two teams is so powerful because they were so close before. And I feel like that gives way to a lot of emotions. You know, you're not really supposed to feel happy that they split up. You know, it's impactful because of that. And I can see where you're coming from, but yeah, I gotta disagree with you on that one.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Can't get items like these
And then like, I do like how, I mean, I agree with the point. Hey, they divided and stuff, but if they were gonna do that in the end, they should have just like gone out like, hey, I forgive you and stuff, not left it on that sort of if and if terms. Because I'm gonna think now, like with the whole scene with Hawkeye and stuff, when they were talking about, you know, hey, they're not happy with each other.
Mm-hmm.
How that's gonna affect the next movie, Infinity War.
Something to say to me.
You know? Like, are they gonna have to, in Infinity War, are they gonna have to take some time to have them come back together, or are they just gonna pull a Martha and just be like, we're the same team, blah, we're good, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, like the ending is kind of bittersweet. And I don't know. I would have liked them to go a little bit more decisive on that. Either go where they're still just completely angry at each other, or, you know, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of the things we liked. Because I feel like we kind of been talking a lot about things we didn't like over the past couple of minutes. Let's talk about some of our favorite things. I liked how they treated Black Panther.
Black Panther, yes.
Yes. They did a great job at setting up that character.
Yes.
He seemed really cool, really powerful.
Oh yeah. So at first I was like, hey, so this doesn't seem like with the Prince. I was like, why are they including all this stuff with him? He doesn't seem like a major character. And then when they revealed him to be, you know, Black Panther, I was like, yes, this is right. Because how he does not like Bucky because, you know, he thinks he killed his father, but then he realizes, hey, it wasn't him.
They did a good job with that character. They really did.
Yes.
They set him up really well too, because I wasn't sure how they were going to do it, setting up both him and Spider-Man. But they gave him a cool introduction. They gave him an interesting introduction, not as the Prince, but also whenever you see him go into the Black Panther suit, that was really interesting. Yeah. That was a cool scene, and it was interesting to see him go from his Prince persona to his Black Panther persona too.
Yeah. Also, hey Nick, El Jefe.
What?
El Jefe.
Yes.
That's weird.
Oh, what?
All right. On my side.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Wait.
That won't be.
Oh, you can't have more than one people. Oh, darn.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me try to get in the back. Nope.
Commander's on the warpath.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, hit me with a pistol while I go in.
Huh?
Hit me with a pistol as I go in. Okay, ready?
Okay. Yep.
3, 2. You missed.
Oh.
Well, let's just try
Okay,
this
we need
while
to
we
focus
talk.
on the podcast.
All right.
Did you know?
Okay, so, what did you think about Spider-Man as a whole, though?
He sounded like he was a pretty cool dude. I liked him. Now, I did think that, you know, hey, he was a cool actor and all, but if you're gonna get him, have him sound like he's actually, you know, 18 and not 12.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
I guess so, yeah.
Send Church out.
I thought he was an interesting character. I'm excited to see what they did. I'm excited to see what they do with him. Although I hope they are more careful with the jokes next time.
Yes.
I feel like this was. I'm hoping that this is just kind of like a test run, just because they wanted to pack in as much Spider-Man as they could, since he could only be in there for a short while.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. It didn't ruin the movie for me. It was a bit of a problem, but I really liked his introduction, though.
Yes.
His introduction was great. I freaked out in the theater whenever those big white location markers showed up, and with Queens on them, because of course Spider-Man lives in Queens and stuff. I really liked how they set up not just him but Aunt May too and their whole situation. They really did a good job at summarizing everything about Spider-Man in that one scene.
Yeah, although, like, I know I've heard a lot of people complain that, like, hey, Aunt May's not 40. No, I can agree with her age of Aunt May.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with it. I'll admit,
except when Tony Stark starts sitting on her. That's weird.
It was pretty funny, though. It was pretty fun. It's just pretty funny. It was funny.
It was pretty funny. You got the jokes.
Yeah, but also, like, I honestly kind of maybe prefer this version of Aunt May. At least compared to the past like, we've gotten kind of 3 different stages of Aunt May. We've got really old Aunt May, and we got kind of, old Aunt May, but not incredibly old Aunt May, and then we've got Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, the newest one.
Yeah.
And
at first I thought you were talking about Ant-Man.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of super old Aunt May as far as the movies go, or the comics for that matter. Ultimate Spider-Man is a different story, because they handled the Aunt May character pretty well because they gave her more personality, more things to do. But as far as just her being just the frail aunt character, like she was in the Raimi trilogy, I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. I feel like that leaves a lot to be desired as far as the character goes. I feel like she can easily slip into being very boring and stuff, so I'm not opposed to it because it allows her it shows signs of her being a more interesting character.
Yeah. And then, at first I thought you were saying Ant-Man, so moving on to Ant-Man, I did like how he, it was the introduction of him as a superhero, because, he wasn't really a big superhero before this movie, and he,
so big.
He
wasn't a big superhero.
Yeah, I know. So I did like how when he met Captain America, he freaked out and stuff.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's get into the real gritty nitty of Ant-Man, though. That Giant Man reveal.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that wasn't cool.
That was cool.
That was really neat getting to see that. I had a feeling that we were going to get to see it, because there were rumors and stuff. Also, toys released of Ant-Man as Giant Man were released and stuff. So I was pretty sure that we were going to get that, but seeing that in theaters was pretty crazy. Cool. It was insane. It was really good. This is really good. Hey.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hey. That's really good. That's really good. Hey, I mean, really good. But I mean, yeah. What else to talk about? What else can we?
The big location titles.
I liked them. I'm not gonna lie. I liked them. Didn't have no problems with them.
Yeah. Still though, like.
I get why some people were kind of annoyed at them, but I don't have no issues with them.
Well, personally,
I
I
went and got the cops on us. Really gonna do that.
Personally, I did not like them simply because I was in a really dark theater, and so whenever the white location tiles came up, my eyes hurt really bad. Also, being colorblind. No, I'm just kidding. That has nothing to do with it. Just it really hurt my eyes.
Interesting.
I am
I think you
crap. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. What did you think about the villain of the movie, Baron Zemo?
Ooh, I did like Zemo. Like, I didn't like him, but I liked him. So it was good, because I didn't like him because he was, he was a villain. I didn't like him. But I liked him because, he did a great job.
Yeah. I gotta say, I liked the character. I liked him. As far as his character aspect go, I liked him. And I'd like to see more of him, too, and I'm hoping maybe in future films we can maybe get a Masters of Evil team of some sort, because Baron Zemo, of course, known for leading. So yeah, I'm definitely, I'm interested in the character, and I'm interested to see what he does next. I will say this, though, I would have liked to seen him do a little bit more in the movie, because it felt like more of an afterthought. But at the same time, I did like what I did get. So I liked what I got, but I would have liked to see him do more, be a little bit more involved.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that point. I did like how his backstory.
That was interesting too. How he was like, how some family was killed and whatnot because of the Avengers, and it was an interesting point that he made. How he did more to destroy the Avengers. Just by making them destroy themselves, rather than he ever could, trying to fight them physically, take them on that way. So that was interesting. Although, the simplification to where they made it to where, like, a villain just manipulated the whole thing, not a huge fan of that. I mean, it was fine, it was passable, it wasn't, like, a huge gripe that I had with it, but, I think that you could have easily done it makes it more redeemable on the hero's behalf that way if you make it to where the villain manipulated it all, but at the same time, I think that kind of takes away some of the flair of it,
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Now, I will say, join the thing I just invited you to, by the way, but I will say, he did succeed. Like, he succeeded on his mission, and I thought that was great. Because, I thought he's like, what? How does it feel to lose? Okay, so this was probably my favorite part of the movie was when Iron Man and let's say Iron Man and Tony. When Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky were all fighting and stuff. Well, I thought that was just a really great scene because it just because and then they got well beforehand I thought it was all good, and then he showed him his mom dying and stuff, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty deep.
You upped the ante. Also, I thought it was interesting how they kind of pulled you up with the second, because they kind of mentioned, they kind of hyped up throughout the movie, throughout part of it, like, why does this guy want to know so much about the Winter Soldier? They kind of led you to think he's gonna awaken the other Winter Soldiers, use them as a weapon. But I liked how it kind of threw you for a loop, and that didn't happen. They went for a different thing.
Yeah, I thought that was really neat. Do you think there's any more spoilers?
I mean, Black Widow is pretty hot. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything more to say about that. I was just, I just felt like that needed to be addressed. I felt like that needed to be addressed.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh, what about this? They kind of hinted at a Vision Scarlet Witch relationship. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, you told me about that. When I went and saw it, I was like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But, I mean, they didn't do anything heavy with it, and I mean, of course, they kind of had their own conflicts in the film, what with, like, you know, Vision trying to hold them back and whatnot, but,
they didn't want to hurt each other and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite you to something else. You had to have 4 players.
Yeah.
Personally, I really liked it, and I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, but the fan base so far, what I've seen, is mostly really bad.
Okay. What?
Alright.
I wasn't paying attention.
Tumblr.
Oh, Tumblr? Tumblr's bad?
Yeah.
What was really bad? Tumblr? Is that what you said?
The fan base for, you know, like, the Captain America and Bucky. It's horrible. Also,
Okay.
yeah, doing that. Alright. I'll text Mason to unmute. It was a pretty good movie.
Hey!
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Did you text that boy Mason?
Hello,
I did
and
text.
welcome to the Fool's Paradise Podcast.
My
Podcast-
shackles!
Muy vague. Muy vague.
They're my shekels.
Muy vague.
Are you even a Jew? No, you're not. I'm from Israel, dude.
I'm not a Jew, I'm Hebrew.
Israel. Mason, more like poop head. Oh, you're roasted.
That offends me.
This just in on Drama Alert. Member of the Fool's Paradise Podcast, Roastmaster Nick, called Mason a poopy head. I've got both of them in the studio right now on hold. What would you like to say to Mason, Nick? I'd like to say Mason is a poopy head. Oh my gosh, Mason, what do you say to that?
That triggers me, and I hope you become a poopy head.
I hope you get right into the news. KEEMSTAR, will you just leave? Why would you want that?
Pick the T20.
Don't tell me what to do. I already picked the Zenturo.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, you will, Gilbert.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
You will. You will.
Alright,
Will
so
Smith?
what...
Getting jiggy with it. No.
Yep. Oh, Nick, don't go.
You will.
Snooze, you lose.
I will be back in a minute.
You will.
Snooze,
You
you
will. It's gonna be the new meme, guys.
Gorillas.
You
Gorillas
will.
in the midst. You will. So tell me this, Mason. I'm about to tell you a Civil War spoiler, right?
Nope.
Captain America is a hydrate now.
It's not a Civil War spoiler.
What
That's
do you
the
want to
new.
talk about? You want to talk about fruit? Let's talk about fruit. You like mangoes?
I don't eat very many mangoes, but yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, mangoes are pretty good. I like a good mango or two. What do you think about? What do you think about nectarines? You like nectarines?
I don't think I've ever had a nectarine. They
I think
sound
I've had
good.
a nectarine. That was pretty good. It was pretty good, you know. It's whatever. You ever had white cranberries?
Nope.
Neither have I. They sound like they'd be pretty tasty, though.
Why, you saying that because they're white?
Yeah.
Now I'm imagining like a berry that tastes like white chocolate or something.
Or just some Yeah. Let me ask you this: what do you think about peaches? You think they're an okay fruit?
Yeah, they're pretty
think
good.
They're
fruit.
fine.
They're not the best, but they're pretty good. They're
Pretty
pretty good.
KEEMSTAR quality.
No, nothing's KEEMSTAR quality. He has to be the best content creator, Nick.
True. He's the best. Nothing can beat the best.
Is it sad that I gave up on finding thumbnails for our podcast?
Yeah, it is sad. You should find some thumbnails.
But there's been like 3 or 4 that I haven't done thumbnails for, and I don't want to just start now.
Yeah, man. Nobody cares. You gotta get back on that train, man. That was your job. We trusted you, Mason.
Can we just hire?
You're supposed to bring balance to the force.
Can we just hire? Like, can we just find somebody to do the thumbnails?
What I missed?
Nobody wants to do our thumbnails. We're not big enough yet.
Yeah, but maybe
we
they're
talked about fruit. That's what you missed.
Is it over?
Killer.
Is it over?
What? The podcast?
Yeah.
No.
We're talking about fruit.
We're just talking about fruit.
Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay. I do like papaya.
I gotta go.
I do like some grapes.
Oh, guys, I gotta go.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and end it.
Well, yeah, and this
Let's end it.
and this is podcasting.